Welcome to GrioTime podcast. I'm Anj Talley, co-founder of GrioTime, a children's audio storytelling platform rooted in Indigenous folklore that helps kids build literacy and character without the screen. Today, I'm talking with Addie from Hey Mama Homeschool. Addie is a mom, an educator, and one of the most intentional parents I've come across online. Addie, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Anj.
I just want to dive into it.
Okay.
So, how old are your babies?
My babies are 9 and 3, just a month shy of being 10 and 4.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh, like MG, a 10-year-old.
double digits. More, yeah,
It's like a threshold, I feel
it
like.
is
hmm
a big mom.
Well, I want to take you back. Back before, he was in double digits, back when your oldest was a toddler. What did learning look like in your house?
It looked like fun. I had this dream of what my homeschool room would eventually look like, but it started in our living room and at our dining room table. It started with small resources and things that I made myself a lot of the time. We're just now evolving into using curriculum that is, built by curriculum makers. For a long time, it was me making it up as I went and him being excited about it and me just like piggybacking off of his excitement to push learning even further.
Beautiful. That's really cool. Did you guys read a lot of books? Like, will you talk about how books fit into the picture when your oldest was young?
Absolutely. So the library was the place to be because I was in a town that I didn't grow up in. I wasn't surrounded by family, so in a search for a community, I went to the library and I found it there. And the same librarians that knew him as a 1 year old light up when they see him come in the library now. So we were checking out books, thrifting books, putting books on Christmas and birthday wish lists. Books were part of his baby registry. And one of my best friends from college sent French books, Italian books, because she spoke French. I learned and spoke Italian. She sent classics. She sent things that I didn't even know about, like just stocked his library up before he even got here. I was very intentional and maybe corny, but I'm the family photographer. So the day he was born, I had a book and I read it to him and I recorded it because Snapchat was big then and like posting it for the family. So I have a video of him being a few hours old reading Winnie the Pooh and his dad's playing the guitar in the background. I'm like, yeah, this is the life.
OMG, that is so adorable.
Yes.
Oh, what a precious memory and like video that he can see when he's
Yes.
older.
Mm-hmm.
Has he seen it? Has he seen the video?
Yes, yes. And we go on like binges of like, let me see me when I was a baby. And a lot of
Yeah,
those have books in them.
that's beautiful. That's amazing. Research says that kids need to read 1,000 books before kindergarten, like to be kindergarten ready.
Hmm.
Does that number of 1,000 books, does that seem overwhelming to you, or is it kind of obvious?
Oh, honestly, both. It is overwhelming, and it's like when you realize that you're not saying enough words to your kids, like you have to jump on it. You have to get to the books. There's only so much conversation you can have with a 3 year old. It's fun, but books spark so much more conversation. They instill so many new words. And I've seen that difference with my 9 year old and my 3 year old because with my 9 year old, he was the only child for 6 years, and I dedicated all of my time to him. And it got harder when I had my second child to split that time and have dedicated learning time for both of them. And I saw where I dropped the ball at one point, and I was like, nope, we have to turn this around. We have to get back on these books. I have to give him that same amount of time in reading and just looking at books or playing with books that I did with my oldest.
And what does your like reading routine look like? Do you read a certain number of books every day? Is it before bed, or is there, another time during the day that you are like focused on reading books back when he was 3?
Yeah, it's evolved. When my eldest was young, we read before bed every night, no exception. And that could be like picture books, or after he fell in love with a particular movie, we would read, like the original book. And I don't know how much he got from that. It seemed like he didn't really care to do that, but it was still us exposing him to larger words. And then he'd pick up some of it and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that from the movie." So it was engaging even at bedtime. As he got older, it became 20 minutes a day is the minimum, and we keep a reading log all year long, not just for
Nice.
summer reading. Yeah, and then he can look back at it at the end of the year and be like, oh wow, I read a lot this month. And that helps me in homeschool as well because it shows me like the months where we kind of slow down. And at first I thought of it as like, oh no, I need to get back on the ball, but it's kind of, I've learned to give myself grace because we have so much going on with homeschool, and we're reading in other ways now as he's growing as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really inspiring. Honestly, it makes me want to keep a log because I haven't been
Hmm.
tracking, but we are on this journey of 1,000 books. Like I haven't been keeping a name of the books, just
Hmm.
like the number,
Hmm.
like a tally. But
That's
anyway, that's
good.
inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I know online you talk about following your child's interests. What does that look like for a parent whose toddler like won't sit still to read a book?
Oh, we have to get over ourselves and over the notion that was instilled in us that learning is rigid, and I'm still working on that. So I say that as a we, not a
Yeah.
y'all. We have to get over it. Because I was the really good kid in school, and I sat still and was praised by the teachers, but that's that's not human, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a rigor that's installed in you to be still and be obedient, and that's great when it's needed, but we have to be okay with letting our kids run around while we read to them, letting them play while we read to them. They still take it in, and I'm unlearning that idea of being still and looking more at child development now. It's easily accessible on the internet because I wouldn't have known where to turn to learn this stuff besides like really in-depth books that would probably go over my head at the library. So looking at social media for early childhood educators who are saying that it's okay that they're moving, this is how their brain works, this is how they're taking in information, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And will you talk about following their interests? Like how do you build learning, I guess, curriculum
Hmm.
in homeschool, but even at the toddler level, like how do you kind of build on what you see your kid is interested in at that time?
Okay, so I'll use an example from yesterday. My friend and I got together one day, and our youngest played with some little characters that she put in ice. She froze the characters, they had to break them out of the ice. So I did the same thing, I replicated it. And while my 3-year old was playing with it, he was like, why does this bear sink and why does this bear float? The bear in the ice floats, the bear on its own sinks. I have no idea, but we're gonna find out because that's not my, that
Oh,
science isn't my lane. But it's like he asked that question at 3 years old, and it's like, oh wow, you're like really observing this and paying attention. So I need to build on that while it's fresh. So I'm going to research it because I'm excited that you're curious about it.
that's tight.
That was just yesterday, but like my oldest, he loved dinosaurs, so we went all in on dinosaurs. We built a huge timeline that went from the floor to the ceiling, trying to show, like, okay, the Cretaceous period was this big if you think about time, and the Jurassic period was this big if you think about time. We are lucky to live in the Dallas Metroplex, so there are multiple museums with dinosaur fossils. There used to be like a animatronic dinosaur studio that would let you tour, and so we did that. There you have to find the places that align with what they're interested in, and you have to be curious about what they're curious about as well. to get the library books
Mhm.
because you can't
Mhm.
buy those books all the time. Like when you're doing that deep dive, go to the library and explore what they have to offer, from the adult nonfiction section to the children's nonfiction and fiction sections, and just immerse them in what they're interested in and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to the parent who just like is crunched for time, pressed for time, working maybe two jobs,
Hmm.
but is aware that obviously reading is important to your kid and knows that we can't necessarily rely on kindergarten to, teach
Yeah.
our the public school system to teach our kids the way that we might have in the past. So, well, how do you kind of help that parent who just doesn't have the time?
Hmm. When time became a factor that was working against us, when it became hard to read at bedtime, we started doing stories online. There are people on YouTube who read stories, so there's the face that you see, so there's an actual human reading it. But there are also websites like Books, I believe that's how it's pronounced, VOOKS, and they have animated stories, from stories that are actually books to stories that have been made specifically for their platform. I know a lot of people have like Yodo players and things like that. The library has Wonder Books, which read the book aloud to the child. It has a little sound that tells them when to turn the page so they can participate in that way. And my big kid has been a big help with my little kid. If he hasn't read for the day, he can get his 20 minutes in by reading to his brother. If he doesn't want to read any book that is on his level, because sometimes he's like, I want to read the little kid books too. So, okay, read to your brother. Um,
Sweet.
yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, technology, it can be our friend in that way. It really can.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why we built GrioTime, for moments when parents can't physically sit down and read to their kids.
Hmm.
For us, last weekend we went to a family reunion in DC, so we were in the car for 5 hours, and
Hmm.
I really just want to push against that desire to put a screen in front of your kid for them to be quiet. I'm not like anti-screen, but I think, there's a time for entertainment,
Hmm.
but I don't want to use a screen to pacify,
Yes.
you know?
Hmm.
And so that's really the motivation behind like creating audio stories,
Hmm.
so that their imaginations can still roam wild as kids' imaginations should, while listening instead of just being like pacified by a screen.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree with that. Just to tie in, the same friend who bought the French and Italian books, we went out to her house for 2 weeks in March, and while we were there, we listened to about four audiobooks between like the travel time and then driving around to different landmarks. And they were amazing. We had a great time doing it, and that was my attempt as well to limit screen time. So when they asked to watch TV, I'd be like, "Let's put the book on instead." And
yep,
they would.
yep, yeah. And yeah, and you still are able to like focus on what you need to be doing to
Yep.
get from point A to point B in a
Yes.
place you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's helpful.
Okay, cool. Because that was one of my questions, is like, do you think that storytelling or audio stories carry the same weight when it comes to reading as books do? But it
Oh,
sounds like you use audio stories.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, especially like now, how they're making like audio. I forget what they say, but like at the beginning it'll be like an audio story where it's like they have the sound effects and things like that. Like it really brings you into the world of the book, and you're just
Yeah.
like like just all into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And Spotify has some good resources as well. And griotime.com.
Yes.
All right. So if a parent is listening right now and has a 2-year-old, and maybe they feel behind because they haven't been reading on a consistent basis, or maybe haven't been listening to audiobooks, would you say it's too late, or what advice would you give them?
It's not too late at all. They're still really little. I think we're conditioned to start the sitting down and being still very early. And it's not time for that yet. They're still really little. They're eager to listen, even if it doesn't look like it, even if they're moving and trying to play with toys or, turning the pages all willy nilly. They're still eager. They're eager to learn. They're eager to copy us. So if they see us looking at the books, they're going to want to look at the books too. They're going to ask questions about the books, and you can be there to provide the answers or, help them look things up and learn something new. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. I'm curious, just for my own self,
Okay.
why did you choose homeschool?
Hmm.
And then, like, how have you seen your son since he was a toddler? Like, the foundation that you built for him as a toddler, how have you seen him build on that to now?
I chose homeschool simply because I missed out on time at home with my parents as a child, and my mom passed away very early. So I did not want to miss out on that time with them. So I chose to stay home. I wasn't thinking about housewife. I was like, I didn't sign up to be a housewife. I have a degree. It's not
Right.
what I signed up for. I just want to be with my baby. But here we are, housewife, homeschool mom, trying to make it work.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Um,
real.
but just I have loved learning from a very young age, and I know that is not the case for everybody. But I think outside of the institution of school, you can learn to love learning in a way that is suited to you. Because we all have an interest in something, like we want to deep dive into something, whether it's sharks or cooking. We can learn to love learning outside of the institution, whether you loved it as a child or not. And then when our kids see us doing that, they are going to learn to love it too. And so just reading books with him very early on, daily. Now he is obsessed with books. I get book mail quite often, and I have to remind him, like, you have to put the books back because I have to review them. I was glad and excited about it, but put it back in the specific stack that I had. He's excited about books. When we go to the library, he's like, okay, what's my limit today? And I'm the max the library card out, mom. So I'm like, well, whatever you can carry, because I'm not carrying yours. I have to carry mine.
30, 50.
And it's like a mad dash before we go back to the library. It's like, okay, this is the list that's due. That's a learning experience. Here's the list of books that are due. Please go find them.
Yeah,
Returning
yeah.
all of these so that you can check out all you want to your heart's content when we go to the library this time. So, I believe that exposing him to books and making learning fun from a very young age, making it a daily thing, whether it was informal or formal, we're always curious and asking questions and researching things. And now I'm really trying to like hold off on the Google research, and like we're diving into encyclopedias and
Ooh,
dictionaries.
come on now.
Yes, and I've been doing it for a while, but he's hesitant about it. But I'm like, you know what? The '90s, we had it right, and pre '90s, like you have to know how to find these things in encyclopedias and dictionaries.
Yeah,
Internet is
yeah,
proving that right now. These dating shows are proving that right now. Like you have to know your words, you have to know how to find things, and it's in a book. So yes, we have Lego books. Yes, we have unicorn and poop books, but also you need these real books that are going to help you in life from here on.
yeah, yeah. Here's how to use them. Wow. Okay. Amazing. 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 Thank you so much. This conversation has been so valuable. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Hey Mama MAMA Homeschool. So Hey Mama Homeschool on Facebook, on Instagram, and soon on YouTube as well.
And if you're listening and want to experience what we've been talking about today, go to griotime.com. There are 3 stories on our website waiting for you. You can just push play, no signups, no credit cards required. And we'll see you in the village.
Thank you.
Thank you, Addie.
Thank
This has
you.
been wonderful. I appreciate it.